Folks, it's looking more and more like the Democrats in the House pressured the National Archives and Records Administration to send a referral to the Department of Justice so that they could get the FBI to go after the documents that Trump was keeping in Mar-a-Lago. The evidence is mounting, and if it's true, there should be serious consequences on the Democrats for doing this because it means that they manipulated the National Archives, the DOJ, and the FBI when they knew there was no criminality involved. Let's get into this. Hello and welcome to RPW Media. My name's Rich. Thanks for being here. The Democrats have corrupted just about every federal department. And if you stick with me through this video, I'll explain to you why everything they did concerning the Trump documents kept at Mar-a-Lago was political in nature and could be a crime. Two Republicans, House Oversight and Reform Committee ranking member James Comer of Kentucky and House Judiciary Committee ranking member Jim Jordan of Ohio, sent a letter to the National Archives demanding the communications between Democrats and the National Archives over this situation. They wrote the letter to the acting archivist of the National Archives, Deborah Wall. It turns out that George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Barack Obama all kept classified documents, and NARA never raised a concern. They didn't bat an eye. We did a story a couple of weeks ago that Obama has classified documents stored in an abandoned furniture store without any protection whatsoever for security over those documents. The National Archives never batted an eye. In fact, the Obama Foundation actually wrote a letter to the National Archives and told them that they were going to have classified and unclassified documents in that abandoned furniture store. Yet we never heard a peep. Now, Mar-a-Lago has Secret Service agents all over it at all places and all times. And those records were inside the Mar-a-Lago compound. And I'm pretty sure that Trump has private security there as well, cameras and whatnot. The Trump documents, which we now know were mostly the documents or evidence, I should say, on Operation Crossfire Hurricane, where the Obama DOJ and FBI spied on the Trump campaign in 2016. So the question is, why has NARA never been concerned about those records? If you really believe that Trump deserved to be raided by FBI agents with machine guns and where the agents refused to give a copy of the search warrant to Trump's lawyers who were on site during the search, then surely you believe that Bush, Clinton, and Obama should all be raided as well, right? Right? Okay, both Comer and Jordan have noted the coincidence that on February 9, Oversight Chair, New York Democrat Carolyn Maloney wrote to NARA about concerns about the records that Trump had kept. On that very same day, National Archives referred the case to the DOJ, which led eventually to the FBI raid. Now, to the liberals who are watching this, please don't continue to tell us that the National Archives and Records Administration was very concerned about those documents at Mar-a-Lago, because they weren't. Now, the two Republicans wrote, quote, "The fact that NARA transmitted to DOJ a referral that launched a criminal investigation of the former president the same day the Democrat chairwoman of the committee inquired whether the agency had been in contact with DOJ raises serious concerns about whether NARA made the referral after pressure from committee Democrats." Now, here's the dirty little secret that the misinformation fake news media doesn't want to tell you. There are two court cases that make this case a slam dunk in favor of the former president. In 1988, there was a Supreme Court case called Department of the Navy versus Egan, where the court ruled, among other things, that the president has ultimate authority to classify and declassify anything he wants. And then in 2012, there was a case called Judicial Watch versus National Archives and Records Administration. The Obama-appointed Judge Amy Berman Jackson ruled, which I think was the correct ruling, that the National Archives does not have the authority over a president to declare what is considered presidential records. In other words, the court ruled that the President of the United States has total authority to determine what is considered presidential records that he may take with him when he leaves the White House. That Judicial Watch case was over President Bill Clinton taking with him several secret audio tapes from the White House that he actually kept in a sock drawer at home. You can't make that up. Judicial Watch wanted NARA to demand that Clinton turn the tapes over because the American people had a right to know what was on them. Now, Judge Jackson ruled that since a sitting president has the authority to declassify, and since the president has authority over National Archives to declare what is considered presidential records, she rightfully threw out the case. Well, the same thing applies to President Trump. He was still a president when he declassified the documents that he has, and he has the authority to say what is considered presidential records. The two Republicans, Comer and Jordan, say that NARA's statement that they take its role as a non-political agency is seriously a crock. In December 2020, Oversight Committee Democrats pressured NARA to pursue Trump despite the fact that NARA had checked and found no issue regarding Trump. Now, NARA has allegedly had at least one meeting with the Democrats. On October 7, NARA responded without providing the information that was requested. While the Republicans challenged the National Archives, saying, quote, on August 22, 2022, Just the News published a letter demonstrating robust negotiations between NARA and former President Trump's attorney, Evan Corcoran. I think I just destroyed his name. So also on August 22, 2022, the New York Times reported, quote, the material in the boxes prompted archives officials to refer the matter to the Justice Department, which within months had convened a grand jury investigation. The committee Republicans wrote to the National Archives saying, quote, it is puzzling that you and your staff would blatantly deny the existence of such responsive documents or communications to Congress. It is implausible that there would be no internal communications by NARA employees regarding the subject matter of the letter to Mr. Corcoran, as your letter to us would indicate. The Republicans are saying that the abuse of power demonstrated by the weaponization of federal government agencies has to be stopped. I have no doubt in my mind that the Democrats did abuse their power in order to try to damage President Trump to prevent him from running in 2024 and winning again, because we know he'll win with the way things are now under Democrats. The only way the Democrats are going to stop using these dirty little tricks and abuse, and they corrupt every single federal agency, is if we start jailing them. It will make them stop and think twice. Only you can prevent a disaster. And you can do that next month by going out and voting Republican as if your very life depends on it, because it does. Okay, that's it. Thanks. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks for spending this time with us. You can read all of our stories at rpwmedia.com, where you can send us news tips on stories that you think we should be writing about. You can also join our newsletter, where you'll get the latest commentary and opinion by our writers. Take care.